Hello, viewers, and welcome back to another My Hero Academia read-through. But yeah, like I said in last week's episode, we're not getting 249 this week. We're doing something entirely new. We're going to be doing another spin-off that I'm not sure if I would be able to continue. So yeah, today for this week from you guys voted, and we decided to go 4 chapters of Vigilantes spin-off. And this story takes place a couple of years before the main story, and it's not even written by my Horikoshi himself. So, will My Hero Academia Vigilantes suck, or is it really a gem in disguise? So, let's have a look at the first 4 chapters from Volume 1. And I'm reading from Volume 1 here, so keep that in mind. So let's have a good read and see where this goes. And I'm just a little nervous about this, so let's see how this goes. So our first chapter here is called I'm Here, and I'm just reading from the book. So we start off with a couple of panels with the heroes that we already know about, and we get some new character from the story, and he starts saying, "Who are heroes, chosen ones, authorized by the government to use their innate powers to serve society." As while we go through this, we cut away to a alley of some sort, and some heroes starting to walk through them while petting a cat along the way, a stray cat on the way. And the dialogue continues. But this world's got another type of hero. A more legal sort of hero who takes action without necessary being chosen to do so. What brand of justice do these heroes follow? And they and do they deserve to be called heroes in the first place? Well, you're doing stuff illegally. And on the next page, we get a nice full cover of the all three of the characters on a double-page spread in the volume one, just letting them know that Vigilantes is here, and we continue forward. And then on the next page, we start off things going south with probably the main character falling to his death, apparently. And he's just screaming, "Wah! Mayday! Mayday! I'm falling!" And we see also the female lead just looking down at this situation, probably going to die by falling from, holy crap, 30 meters drop? That's a 30-meter drop into concrete. And we see also our third character who's lying on the ground, probably dead. And probably our protagonist saying, "This could really be the end. Definitely the worst situation I've ever been in." And we change the page and we see this gigantic person looming over, and our protagonist still screaming his little head off. "God, Buddha, whatever is listening, I'm seriously repenting. I swear I won't forget my place ever again. Going on about I want to be a hero and all that. You'll never hear it from me ever again." And after that little bit of a tangent, we probably go back to where probably all this began, and then we get into our main character's dialogue again. And he says, some time has already passed since the advent of our so-called superpowered society, and the bad guys are badder than ever." And we see a random group of people just running away from a criminal, and people going nuts saying, "A villain's gone wild! Gah! On my motorcycle! Run!" For us ordinary people, these are battles we cannot afford to get mixed up in. And the villain's just speaking, "Teeth are life," and he's just eating probably the motorbike. And next page we see All Might, and we all know this is like way before the main story happened, so this takes place years ago. So All Might in his prime just giving the best punch to the head, and he's saying, "I am here." and people are just really excited, saying All Might pops up, and, and then the crowd's cheering and saying, "Whoa, it's All Might! Yeah, that's our #1 hero for ya! Done in one hit." And our protagonist continues, "The really super people out there, they fly through the sky, hit like a ton of bricks, speed around like bullets. They got great smiles." Well, that part's not really important, and All Might's just smiling about this, and he continues saying, "Any injuries since, citizens? No. Glad to hear it." My teeth! My teeth! Probably the guy who's speaking my teeth is probably the villain, and All Might pretty much crippled this guy's teeth, and all of his teeth are gone, and he's just complaining. And All Might just simply responds, "Quiet, you." Okay, that's funny. "Until next time," and he whooshes off. And we pan away to some random mook, and he says, "He's even cooler in the flesh." And apparently, this is our protagonist, and he continues reading in his inner monologue. "They tower above us all, especially me, who's down on the ground looking up," and we see like a panel full of the heroes that we came to see. And on the next page we get some more of his dialogue, and he says, "At least that's what I thought. Crap, late for work." And he says, "Okay, here I go," and he's doing something. And we finally meet who our protagonist is, and his name is Koichi Hanimar... Hanimarori. Koichi. I'm just gonna say Koichi. It's much easier. And he's 19 years old. Okay. And he says, "My quirk is slide and glide. I got to make contact at 3 points for it to activate." So that's his quirk. And some random people to just say, "Ooh, a mobility type quirk. Seems handy." And the people are just continuing saying all this, but he said, and more random people just said, "But it ain't too quick. I go, uh, I go about as fast as one speed bike, and actually it's kind of gross, like a cockroach. Give me a break." And we see this random police officer just going on his bike, and he's saying, "Hey, you, stop right there." And Koichi sees it, and we go away, and probably the police officer speaking. "That quirk of yours, you could wind up tripping people, so try riding a bike instead, even if it's more of a hassle. Besides, quirk use on public streets is forbidden by law." You might be thinking, "What's the harm in using my quirk? Blah, 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 blah." But with all the quirks out there, it's up to all of us to respect each other and live in harmony. Blah, 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 blah. And while all this is going on, Koichi's just saying, "Damn it. Had to be a stickler of a cop who spotted me. How long is this lecture gonna go on? Whoa, later than ever now. What a bunch of crap. I'm not like I'm going around crashing into people." And we see he's about to hit for 2 random people. And so we go on to the next page. And on the next page, like I said, Koichi just crashes into those two, and he... And then next panel he says, "Sorry." Splash, splash, and it's like, oh, it's soda. It's actually soda pouring down, and one of them, "Look what you done, buddy. Made me spill this drink I just bought. Apologize. On your knees." And Koichi's just like, on the last panel on the next page, just bowing down. "I'm good at bowing down." And these random jerks just continue, "Gahaha. The wimp really did it. Guy's got no pride at all." And we continue with Koichi's dialogue, and he says, "By the type of person who makes you bow, also tends to want to kick you while you're down, so Huh? And on the next panel, he's just sliding away. Huh? I got my ultimate move. Kyoto evasion. Yeah, ha, so lame. Which usually leads to this. Get back here! Damn you. So I ran. I'm also good at running. And he just finally loses those jerks and he just looks back. And on the next page, some weird group show up and we see our female lead showing up and she's saying, "Hey everybody, thanks for showing up today." Yeah. And her name is Freelance Idol Self-Styled Pop Step. And Koichi just continues. One of Pop Step's guerrilla performances. Kinda risky given that she doesn't have a permission. And Pop just continues. Pop Sparkle Step. And just dancing around and showing up her ass. Hip hopping just for you. And Koichi continues in his inner monologue and he says, her songs suck, and her face is hidden by all that crazy makeup. Boing boing, and she's just being a sex symbol at this point. And let's see. Sure, it's something sparkly about her though. Maybe because she can basically fly. A jumping quirk must be nice. And Koichi just looks at this, and then a cop car shows up. And next page, Koichi just tells Pop, just saying, "Hey, it's the fuzz!" Basically, the cops. The cops are on their way. I was almost at the good part. Sorry to bow out early, folks, but that's all for today. See you next time. And she goes bouncing off and says, "Check online for the time and place of my next show." And Koichi's just like, "What the frick?" And Koichi just continues his inner monologue. People tend to look up to the sky, look up to the people they, well, look up to. Ew, gross. Just mocking, he was just about to slide away. And they look down on people who, well, you get the picture. Life isn't fair. That's the truth. And we see Koichi is at a convenience store, and we see his actual job is working at that convenience store, and he just goes through his inner monologues and says, "That missing time's coming out of your paycheck, buddy." And that's probably his boss, and we continue with his inner Koichi's inner monologue, and he says, "Of course I was late. Okay." And we see someone comes in, and Koichi's just about to say welcome, and we see it's the jerks show up again. Damn that cockroach bastard. Come. Welcome. Uh, yeah, he's dead meat when I fight him. Huh? And he just realizes it's the same guy. How can I help you? And he gets his ass beat in the last panel, and we move on to the next page. And he's about to get his stuffing beaten by someone with spikes coming out of his, knuckles? Nah, couldn't be. And the jerk continues. Like my quirk, it's called Spike. Getting stabbed hurts real bad, you know. Huh? Scared yet? And he's still kicking his ass. And we get more of the bullies taunting. What a loser. Here, have a drink on me, or rather on you. And you're getting beat up. Ha 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 ha. And we see Koichi walking away from probably getting beat, getting the tar beat out of him. And he's just saying, crap, screw those guys. They're the ones, they're the ones the cops should really be going after. Pisses me off. Just can't stand it. And Koichi finally snaps and is just saying in his inner monologue, that's it. Tonight's a good night for it. And then we go on to the next page and we see he's putting on like a confederative coat of All Might, and he's just saying, I'll change into my special suit. Totally use my quirk. And he's just suiting up and clear my head a little. ain't got nothing to do with the law. I do what I want when I want. And like a phone gets struck, and we see after when Koichi dresses up, he just goes out on patrol, and we see two random women just saying ha 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 ha, and one of the ladies, drop their phone, and Koichi sees this, and he says, "Oh, my first target of the night." And on the next page, we see Koichi just freaks out the women and say, I return dropped items to their owners. You dropped this. So, and we go to another panel helping out some random woman. I think that's actually a callback to Midoriya's mom is in this as a guest, like a cameo. I give directions to the lost. Make a right at that corner and we move on to the next panel and we see a bunch of drunk idiots having too much need. And Koichi says, I look up what time's the last train of the night leaves. And on the next panel, he just random nice things. And Koichi continues, I take your pictures for you. And he's just taking pictures for these group of women. And also does recycling. I put the recycled cans in the correct bins. And throughout this night, and people are just being happy and they saying things like, "Thanks a lot, buddy. He's so very kind. Ain't it, ain't it again tonight? At it again tonight, nice guy. Thanks, nice guy." And on the next page, we see Koichi being super happy about the feelings he's been through. Nothing like doing good to make you feel good. Good work, nice guy. Mind putting my trash out for me, nice guy? How about you go buy me a piping hot bento box, nice guy? All that do-gooding makes a guy thirsty, and he's probably heading home. And we see someone giving a bottle, and she says, Here you go. And Koichi just continues, Appreciate it. Wait, what? And he's just like, What? Who said that? And it's Pop just coming in. And she says, Pop Step, what are you doing here? So you're the guy picking up trash around town. What's your name? What's your name again? Cockroach guy? It's nice guy. And Pops just continues. You're the one who's warned me about the fuzz during my show, right? I wanted to say thanks somehow, and Koichi's just like, so you've been tailing me. And Pops just continues, Yep, I saw how you got beat up by those thugs while you were working at the convenience store. I never seen anything so lame. And Koichi just continues, What are you? You were watching? I don't do well with violence. And we continue on the next page. And Koichi just goes on a bit of a rant here, and he says, Is that Doobie Hood supposed to be an All Might cosplay? Yet you suck at fighting? And that's probably Pop saying, and then Koichi counters that argument saying, Sure, I look up to the guy. I want to be useful to society. However, I can just like I can just like is. Got nothing to do with fighting, and it's cool, not doobie. And Pop counter argues, However you can, so you know your place at least. And Koichi continues, Stop getting hung up on the details. Anyway, yeah, knowing your place is important. Keep playing at being a pop idol and cops catch you sooner or later. And Pop continues, Whoa, I'm not playing at anything. I'm the real deal. You'll just have to keep an eye out for the police. Also, I need you to usher in my fans, set up the venues, and sell some merchandise. And Koichi argues, are you mad or hiring me for a job? Which is it? And Pop counters, I know you can do it. Knows his knows his place, guy. It's nice guy. And we move to the last panel, and he continues. I went to all this trouble to express some gratitude. So I didn't think it'd be such a big deal asking a nice guy like you to do a little work. Oh, that was Pop. I ain't your slave, and I still haven't heard a thanks from you either. And Pop was just running away. On the next page, Pop bumps into the same jerks again, and she's saying, "Watch it, and get out of my way." And the jerk just turns around. Huh? What's up, would ya? And the jerk just grabs onto Pop's hands. And the jerks continue. What's this? Hot stuff under that coat? Yeah, haha. Some sort of freak? Ah, ah, I've seen this chick. She's a high schooler famous for flashing her butt on the internet. Oh, God, you're not going there. I don't like where this is going. And we continue. And the jerks continue. You think you're a hero with this makeup? More like a villain, I say. Stop. My face is a trade secret. Oh god, and on the last panel here, the jerks continue. How about we strip you down and broadcast that on the internet? No, just no. I don't want to get into rape stuff, okay? This is not cool. And Pop's screaming, no! Yeah, haha, that's cold, man. And Koichi's just like, um, uh, um, cut out, cut it out, you guys. And we cut to the next page here, and the jerks see him and they continue. Huh? Your problem, pal. Get lost, you and your lame hoodie. Eh? No, it's not lame, actually. And one of the jerks just turned around, just like, huh? And Koichi's just scared. Right, and the jerks continue. Right, not my problem. Sorry to bother you. And Pops is about to get raped. I don't want to go there. Seriously. And probably Koichi continues on the next page. It's not a lame hoodie, and I'm not knows his place guy. I'm the guy who can pass by a person in need. Mr. Nice Guy. Huh? What are you talking about? That's the jerk talking in on the next page. And we get more into Koichi's dialogue about this, and he says, I might not be much for brawling, but with the element of surprise, stay low and sweep 'em down at the knees. Wah. Yeah, that's two down just like that. And he's about to kick the bully's ass. And we get more of Koichi's dialogue, and he continues, and I tackled the third guy's legs. Then, with his hands off of her, she can jump away to safety with her quirk. Maybe. Oh, that wasn't real. He was just Sherlocking Holmes the whole thing. Stop! Get off of me! I know what to I know what I gotta do. And he's a bit nervous. Drop. Now I gotta make it happen, and he starts doing it and trying to go for the legs, but nothing happens and didn't work. And the jerk just continues. What do you think you're doing? And he just plucks him up, just throws him to the ground. Oof. And the jerks continue. Hold on a sec. I know that face. Look, who's crashing our party? It's that cockroach kid playing hero. Whiff. And yeah, Koichi's about to get his ass beat. Gosh, that does it. You ain't getting away with just a beating. We're gonna crush you and that store of yours. Then that little skank is going to show off all her goods to the world. After we have our way with her, oh god, rape as well. And we see our third hero high above on the rooftops. We see Koichi just saying, that's too much. And on the next page, Jerk continues prattling on, this is all happening cause you had to go and piss me off. And Koichi's just terrified. And we get more of his inner dialogue. In times of disaster and villain rampages, pro heroes always show up to save the day. And we get the jerks continuing. Yeah, haha. You're in for it now, you cosplay punk. Dude's unstoppable when he gets like this. More Koichi's dialogue, but of his inner monologue. But life's troubles aren't limited to the big stuff. They're everyday violence lurking, common malice waiting for a trigger. Sometimes even petty street thugs can kill. And we get more of. We cut away to Bob, and she's still screaming, "Stop! I'll scream for the police!" And the jerk's continuing. Sure, you do that. And, oh no, the police, scary. Why not yell for a hero instead? Try it. Say, help me, All Might. Yeah, come on, give it a shot. And we get more into the dialogue of Koichi's dialogue. He continues. All Might's not always on call, though. Right now, despite big trouble we're in, All Might won't inadvertently invert some back alley brawl. No, no way. He's coming. He'll come flying down and boom! And we see our third hero hitting a pile of trash. And the jerks turn around and see this. What? Someone just jumped down. And we see their third guy, and he's saying, he's alive. Then the jerk's saying, he's alive. He's moved. You punks. Did I hear you mention All Might? Well, he ain't coming. Oh, it's. And we finally get to hear the third. Our third character finally speak, and I wanted to do this in a certain way. You punks. Did I hear you mention All Might? Well, he ain't coming. But I'm here. But I'm here. Russell. And the jerks continue. What? And this new guy comes in. I didn't stick the landing, but don't sweat it. Piles of trash make for a decent cushion when you're in a hurry. Good enough to reduce the risk of spinal injury and concussion anyway. And the jerk continues, huh? What's this geezer going on about? And before he's interrupted, BAM! This guy just bashes his goddamn face in him. Everybody's shocked by this, and on the next page we see the jerk still shocked, and he says, what's your problem? Who goes and does that? Whom am I? What am I doing? Questions I'm happy to answer. And we finally get introduced to the third hero of our group, and he continues and says, the name's Knuckle Duster. And we get a bit of introduction. Junior janitor of the Fist, Knuckle Duster. And it's my job to take out the trash, like you. And we see now Knuckle Duster is going to beat the living crap out of these idiots. And Knuckle Duster continues, but I got a question too. Any of you gentlemen on drugs? Like this new one? That's really bad news. Let me see your tongues. And one of the jerks continue, look, I don't know what you're. And Knuckle Duster's looking at one of the jerk's tongues, and he says, no weird colors. Not this guy. Next up. Eep! And Pop's just saying, eek! Punch! And the other guy's down for the count. And Knuckle continues, not him either. So much time and energy for a bunch of dead enders. And he goes and talks to Koichi, and he says, help me out, kid. And he's just like confused. Koichi's just saying, I swear, I don't do drugs, mister. It's not what I mean. You gotta promise. You gotta promise, and I need an assistant. So help me out on the job. I'll make you a true blue hero. Eeh! I'm not interested. I'll just be leaving now. Liar. We see on the next page, and he continues. And you make a hobby of doing good deeds. You respect All Might. Oh, he says, you respect All Might. And you make a hobby of doing good deeds. You expect me to believe you ain't interested in hero work? And Koichi continues, yeah, but with my goofy quirk, and Knuckle Duster interrupts, I just don't have the stuff to go pro. And why not? Why not? And Knuckle Duster continues, strong quirks, the stuff to go pro? That's crap. That crap's got nothing to do with true justice. And he continues on. Knuckle Duster goes through his inner monologue and he continues. In that moment, when it's clear what's got to be done, do you take action or don't ya? All you need is to be a hero is the right answer to that question. And Koichi has his inner monologue and he says, does that mean this old fart doesn't have a license? And that third jerk is still around. Kya haha. And everybody's looking at him. And he still got pop and he continues, when did he? And the jerk continues saying, making a chump out of me? What do you know about justice, you old bastard? And let's go to the next page. And Knuckle Duster continues and he says, knock it off, boy. My fist ain't gonna fly any slower just 'cause you got a hostage. And the jerk continues, you think she's a hostage? My spikes are about to make mincemeat of this chick's face. Might be the only satisfaction I get all night. And Koichi's saying, no. And we get more of his inner dialogue. In that moment when it's clear what's gotta be done, do you take action or don't ya? And Koichi just tackles the dude and manages to get Pop free and she just bounces off. And Knuckle Duster says, good work, kid. And he's continuing whamming this jerk in the face, just kicking the rapist's ass and tossing him into the trash after in the next page. And he continues, no drugs on any of them. Better jolt down their info just in case. And we get more into Koichi's dialogue, and he says, what I thought right then wasn't thanks or you saved me. And he says, come on. And Knuckle Duster continues, come on, kid. Starting today, I'm gonna teach you what it takes to do hero work. And how good it feels to pound some villains. And he's just enjoying this while this insanity continues. And Koichi continues, but this guy's even more trouble. And Koichi's just saying, I absolutely refuse your offer. And we quickly cut away. After that, we cut away to the jerks, and they just pick up the slack and they recover. Ow. Frickin' bastards. That cockroach kid and grappling grandpa are gonna pay. Nah, I think we better stay away from them. And we see some random person show up and he says, what nasty looking injuries you gentlemen seem to have received. Such wounds to body and spirit must pain you, no? Huh? Who are you? I have just the medicine you need. And he pulls out a suitcase filled with, like, medicine or some crap. And that's the end of the first chapter. And it was pretty much okay. And next we will be moving on to chapter 2, Takeoff. Alright, we continue with chapter 2, Takeoff. And we see, like, a full page of all of our three heroes in their costumes. And we continue. And it's probably assuming the next day happened in a day. And we continue with probably Knuckle Duster speaking, and he says, so, you're Koichi, age 19. Oh, God. No. Hold on. I want to do this. Okay, now I'm thinking about it, how to do this. What's a good voice for Knuckle Duster, and I think I just got it. So you're Koichi, age 19, freshman at Hitamoni University. I'll call you Koichi then. Or do you like the ring of nice guy better? Hey, my student ID and my wallet. Don't don't go through my stuff. And Knuckle Duster continues, and he's just saying, "You're calling me master." And Koichi just continues, "I told you I'm not going to be your apprentice. And would you leave already? This is my house." And Knuckle Duster continues, and he just says, "All you got in this fridge is burly tea. Oh, there's beer too. Got a constant, constant, cons, you know what I mean, confiscate it. You're underage." And Koichi continues, "Gah, this guy just doesn't listen." And Knuckle Duster just opens a can while it gets a beer out, and he just starts drinking. While this going on, we cut back to the jerks injecting with that weird medicine that guy gave. And the three of them are just saying, "Ooh, huh?" And one of them just already getting their injection. And freaky transformation happens, and now one of the guys got leather wings, and he continue. And the jerks continue from the last chapter, and they say, "Kya haha, this is awesome." And we cut back to Knuckle Duster, and we get what at the same time, and he starts continuing, and he says, "The drug's called Trigger. It's a quirk booster that also weakens the user's ability to reason. Basically, this drug turns normal people into criminals." And we see the salesman still showing his briefcase with the weird medicine, and he continues, "Come on, you're welcome to one as well." And the jerk who got beat up last time just resent and just. And on the next page, we continue back to Knuckle Duster, and he continues, "The reason why villains are popping out of nowhere all over town. Gotta do something about it." And we cut back to Koichi, and he continues, "Why not just wait for the heroes or the police to catch these guys?" And Knuckle Duster counter argues, and he says, "Ain't gonna happen. These pop-up villains on Trigger can emerge from any crowd at any time. The cops, the heroes, are just always just stuck playing catch-up." "Ah, so they blend in with everyone else. That's where we come in." Oh, that's probably Knuckle Duster, and he says, "That's where we come in." "Did you just say we?" "Sure right. You're gonna go out, stop suspicious looking characters, and check their tongues." "Tongues?" And they continue, and Knuckle Duster continues explaining more of the drug he was referring last time. "Regular users of Trigger will. Their tongues change color as a side effect. Turns them dark, almost black." And we cut to the next page, and Knuckle Duster continues, "We'll give those black-tongued losers a beat down and make 'em spill their beans on their dealer. That's how we put an end to the. That's how we put an end to this whole drug trade." And Koichi just says, so now we're going to go around punching people. Early bird gets the worm. We gotta take these junkies down before they shoot themselves up with Trigger." And Knuckle Duster continues, "I feel. Oh, wait, no, that's not right. That's Koichi. I feel like most of people wouldn't be down with this the whole show me your tongue thing." And Knuckle Duster just counter argues that, and he says, "Suspicious creeps like that got a knuckle sandwich coming to them." And he's not very nice. And Koichi just just smiles, saying, "Again, that joke's getting old." And we cut away to a few minutes later, and Koichi's saying, Are you for real? And we cut to the next page. Hold on a sec. Sorry about that. I had like a call on my phone, but it was the wrong phone person. Wrong wrong number. So where were we? Oh yeah, Knuckle Duster beating up random people. That wasn't a joke. And we see like Knuckle Duster is about to beat up some random people, and Koichi just continues on the next panel, and he says, "Come on, guys, just need a peek at your tongues. Please just show us." And the random people just stick them out a little, and it'll be over. And we see Pop pops in up above the lights, and she says, "What's all the fuss?" And Koichi's saying, "Ah, Pop step." And we probably get an explanation, and he says, "Well, you see," then sometime later, and we see Pop just continuing saying, "You're looking for junkies and dealers. Ah, thanks for yesterday, but I haven't forgotten how you were about to sacrifice me, Pops." And Knuckle Duster continues saying, "Whatever." And Pop continues, "So nice guy." Um, and then Koichi is saying, "It's just Koichi is fine." And she continues, "Oh, that's your real name. Well, Koichi, why are you going along with all this?" And he's just thinking about it while drinking. And we cut to the next panel. And Pop continues, "What's that pause mean?" And Koichi continues, "Nothing. It's just that if I don't keep watch, this guy's gonna beat every last person walking down the streets." And Knuckle Duster continues saying, "No, I'll start with the most suspicious ones, like youngsters who can't stop messing around." And we see Pop continuing, "Going at it so randomly is never going to work. You two ever use your heads?" And Koichi saying, "Our heads?" And on the next page, we see Pop bringing out like a book or something? I don't know. And she says, "Whenever a villain shows up, someone's bound to snap a pic. Let's just refine the search to unknown villains or instant villains. That means less legwork in the end." And Koichi argues, saying, "Ooh, clever." And Knuckle Duster's like, and Knuckle Duster counterargues the argue. "Hey, you there! Stick out your tongue!" And Koichi is saying, "Ah, not again." And Pop's saying, "Were you even listening, Gramps?" And it's just some random business person. And Koichi tries to defend the salaryman, and he says, "Hang on, this dude's clearly an average salaryman. He's not even bothering anyone." And Koichi accidentally bumps the salaryman, and his suitcase opens. And and Koichi says, "Ah, sorry." And he notices it's dolls, weirdly enough, hero dolls. And he continues, "Dolls? Are those action figures for little kids?" And Knuckle Duster continues, "Look, what kind of adult carries around dolls? Too suspicious." And Pop just interferes. "Plenty of people have weird hobbies. Ever been on the internet?" And the salaryman butts in, and he says, "I work at the toy company, actually." And Koichi continues, "See, just a hard-working guy." And Knuckle Duster just skips to the end, just want to beat the random person up. "That's what I'm trying to prove, so cooperate, or else." And Koichi's like, "What?" And then randomly a piece of ribbon just shows out of nowhere and catches on the next page, and we see that ribbon just goes around Knuckle Duster, and the people are just Koichi and Papa just shocked at whoever shows up. And then we hear the person's voice, and he says, "Violent act in a full view of the public, hardly a modern citizen." And it's actually Aizawa before he got into UA, and he continues, shows up. You must be the one who's. You must be one of those instant villains of late. And people are shocked to say, and they say, the Eraser hero, Eraserhead, and it's Aizawa. And he's making his cameo. My leg's starting to go dead. And then Pop shows and says, a hero? You heard of him? And Aizawa continues, I'm off duty today. Just a good Sumerian. So it's basically his day off. It's actually in Aizawa's day off, and you just ruined it for him. And Knuckle Duster just continues. Same here. So we got that. So we got that in common. And Aizawa continues. And Koichi just continues. Does he think we're villains? And Pop's saying, no way. Don't limp me in with them. Hey, no fair. I'm no villain either. And I think it's Aizawa dropping his shopping with eye drops and a cat magazine? Does he have a cat at home or something that we don't know about? And Knuckle Duster, being a goddamn idiot, tries to pick a fight with him. With Aizawa and tries to punch him in the face, and it dodges, and Aizawa just wraps his bandages around his fist. And then gives Knuckle Duster a boot to the head. And Koichi and Pop are just shocked by this, and Koichi starts, yeah, now he's picked a fight with a pro hero. And Pop's saying, this geezer seriously got a screw loose. And Knuckle Duster's just smiling at this whole thing. And he continues the fight. And Aizawa just holds onto a tree, and then I don't know who's saying, and he's probably Aizawa's saying, and he's saying, must be the type to push past the pain with a durability-based quirk. But it's a fool's errand taking me on like this. Not rational at all, and he uses his quirk by looking people. As long as they look at people, their quirk is basically turned off for a while. So next page we see the salaryman, and he's got his suitcase, and he's saying, so sorry. And then Koichi continues, I apologize for scaring you like that, so please help us out. And Koichi continues, explain to him that we're really not the bad guys here. While Knuckle Duster and Aizawa continues, and the Salaryman just runs away and saying, no, I'm in a hurry. For real? Can't really blame him. And Pop just pops in and just saying, wait, that guy. Seeing him from behind, he seems familiar, and we cut back to the phone, and he's to Pop's phone. I thought that was a bug. Now, I thought the bug was a phone. Never mind. And she says, "Yep, he's always around whenever a villain's causing trouble. So they found their drug dealer, and you let him slip away. Great, you're an idiot to boot." Koichi, I think that guy might know something. And Koichi's just like, eh. And I and Pop continues, see, he's running suspiciously, eh? And then we cut back to Aizawa giving another boot to the head to Knuckle Duster in the face. And then next page, and Knuckle Duster catches Aizawa's foot, and Aizawa's kind of shocked by this. And then next panel, Aizawa's just using his Aizawa's just using his ribbon, and he continues, my eraser didn't work on him. So that's it. And we see Aizawa into more Aizawa's thoughts while Knuckle Duster's going to punch Aizawa in the face again. And Aizawa continues, this man, his quirk is, and we cut right back to this Koichi going after the salaryman. And Koichi says, hey, let me just see your tongue at least. And we get interrupted by the three same jerks who's now hooked on, who took the drugs, and now their quirks are much stronger than before. And the main jerk says, "Yo, just the guy I want to see." And we cut to the next page, and I and the Koichi just continues. "It's the guys from yesterday," and the main jerk saying, "Heh, I'm sick and tired of you one-upping us." And he just takes the injection, and he's now jacked with spikes everywhere. "What now? It's time for you to pay you back." And then when that's going on, we cut back again, back to the fight with Knuckle Duster, and Izar continues using his ribbon. Puts the ribbon away, and Knuckle Duster continues, "Ha, ha, what's wrong? Done already?" And Izar just pats him down and just cleans himself up, and he says, "My apologies, there's been a misunderstanding. Since there's been no improper quirk used here, I have no reason to detain you. I mistakenly thought you were a villain of some sort." Oh, hold on. That was just notification. Alright, next page. And Knuckle Duster continues. "Huh, huh. Yeah, you're a mistake. I see. Sorry." And Izara's inner monologue, he says, "Still pretty brazen of him. Definitely a suspicious character, no matter how you cut it, but not guilty of any crime. The fact that my eraser didn't work against him means he's quirkless. Just a tough old bastard." So basically, Knuckle Duster is pretty much a normal, tough dude just going around beating random people. So he's basically, people are saying he's basically Batman at this point. No superpowers, but I think he's probably more of a Rorschach if you ask me, with all the insanity that goes on in his head. And Izar continues and he says, should I let the police know just in case?" And he looks at it and looks at what's going on, and those three random jerks are showing up. "Kia! Villains! Villains are attacking random people just running away." And Koichi is running with them. And the main jerk continues, "Running away is still your go-to move, huh? Run from this if you can." And he turns into a spiked ball and almost crutch Koichi down. And he gets away, but one of the other thugs continue. "Didn't you forget about me, did ya?" And Koichi's saying, "Oh crap." And in the last panel, we see Knuckle Duster coming around with a brick and just about to smack the dude with a brick. And he says, "Guess you forgot that. I'm here." And he smashes one of the jerks in the head with a brick. And Koichi continues, "Master, I mean Mr. Knuckle." And the main jerk continues, "Yeah, you ain't getting away." And then we see Aizawa coming in and wrapping up the main jerk in his bandages, so he's out of this fight. And on to the next page. "What's this jerk doing to me? I can't move." And Aizawa continues, "Taking down guys like you," and puts his boot on the jerk, "is a hero's job. Though I'm off duty today." But we cut back to Knuckle Duster and Koichi, and Knuckle Duster saying, "Where's the girl?" And Koichi's saying, "Chasing after that salary man." And while that's going on, we cut back to Pop, who almost catch up with the salary man, and she says, "I said wait up." And we see that the third jerk shows up, Kiaha, and hits, and presumably hits Pop in the back and causing Pop to hit the salary man. And then the dolls pop out, and we see very creepily that the salary man just wants to go for his dolls, and he's saying, "Ah, my dolls, not again. Ha, 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 my dolls." And he's just picking up an all-might doll. And he pops it open, it's actually a hidden compartment for his drugs. And he takes an injection of it. And Pop saying, "Huh?" And he grows into the size of what we saw in the beginning of the first chapter, so we're almost near where we were, so. And everybody's goddamn shocked about this huge development, and people are saying this, and the people are saying, "It's huge! It's a giant supervillain!" And pretty much got the third jerk and the pop, and the people are just watching and saying, "Run! Cool, better get a pick! Idiot! Call a hero!" And we see this guy is just playing around, saying weird sound effects. Like, I think that in his head is he's kind of messed up and he still thinks he's a kid at heart. And he's like, whoosh, boom, pew, 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 just having fun. And people are suffering and just, yeah. And Pop saying no. And we see someone swinging and about to hit the jerk in the face, and it's Ashley Knuckle Duster giving that giant villain two boots into the head. Blamf. And yeah. No, I'm still calling him. I know it's probably Batman looking, but no, I'm still calling him Rorschach at this point. But with that punch, that kick in the face, Pop let the big villain just lets go of Pop and presumably slips out. And the big villain, the former salaryman, just swats Knuckle Duster, and he hits the ground. But luckily, he lands on a convenient shade of a cloth, and he falls into the ground. And Koichi's saying, "Master," and like I said, Pop finally pops out, and Koichi's like saying, "Pop," and Koichi gets into a bit of a dialogue, and he says her quirk is leap. She can't fly though, so without any footholds in midair, she's in she's in for a hard landing, and she's apparently about to be splat by concrete onto the ground. And Koichi just goes into her hero and just flies up. And we continue, and on the next page we go for a flashback, and we continue saying earlier, and we have Pop in a scene and saying, "What are you going? Why are you going along with this?" She asked me that, and this Koichi's dialogue when he's just getting ready to do something stupid about to go up the building. And the answer was obviously because I want to be a hero. I know I don't have a chance at going pro at this point, and he rockets up, but still, if only for a second. And we get on the next page we get a double page spread of him flying into the air about to catch Pop in the air, and he continues, "I just want to fly." And on the next page, but okay, leap, and Pop just jumps on him and boing. And now he's going to land. Now he's going to be the one landing on the pavement. And we get more of Koichi's dialogue, and he says, "1 second later, and I'm regretting it. When those who can't fly try anyway, this is what happens. They fall and die." And Pop saying, "Koichi," and Koichi continues, "And he's hitting me while I'm down." And Koichi's saying, "Wait," and he's trying to climb up the guy's hand, and it does work. And Koichi continues, "By concentrating to his palm and at 3 points, slide and glide is in play. If I can change the angle I'm falling at," and he meant it, but Koichi lands in the garbage, and usually he's safe at this point. Huff, huff, I'm alive. And Pop saying, "Koichi," and Koichi is about to get punched in the face. "Watch out!" And we see some random person I think that's Aizawa doing his eraser power, and we don't actually see it, but we see only Koichi just looking at. And the salaryman starts shrinking down, and Koichi's confused, saying, "Huh?" And it's actually is Aizawa using his erasing quirk, and the big villain's just back to normal and easy to wrap up. And Aizawa continues, erasing a giantification quirk naturally results in shrinking. After that, it's only rational to bind the target. And we cut back to a few minutes later. Whoop whoop. It sounds of police. And Knuckle Duster is about to leave, and Aizawa interrupts and he says, "Well, thanks for your help, I suppose." And Knuckle Duster continues. And he says, "To use your words, I'm just a good Samaritan. It's my duty to help out heroes on the job." And Aizawa continues, "It's a little dangerous to call your make-believe heroism good in more ways than one." And that was Aizawa, and then Knuckle Duster continues, "We we pick up the slack though. We do what pros heroes can't." And Aizawa is piqued by this. What what the pros can't. And we continue on the next page, and Knuckle Duster continues. "Like that giant and other little punks, we can kick the crap out of them before they have a chance to do evil." And Aizawa continues, "Hey now, preemptive assault is like that is obviously a crime." And Knuckle Duster continues, "If that's the case, us getting charged with something only happens afterwards." And Aizawa continues, "You admit to premeditation then. You're one tempered guy." And Knuckle Duster just counteracts that argument and he says, "Takes one to know one." And we cut back to where Pop and Koichi are, and Pop finds Koichi and she says, "Koichi!" And she continues, "You're okay? You get hurt when you fell." And Koichi's just fine and saying, "Nah, kinda exhausted." And Pop's just continuing, "Oh, good," on the next page. And Koichi continues, "But wow, diving into uncharted territory sure is dangerous. I mean, playing the hero in a big brawl like that, it's just not me. And then, when I fell, I really thought I was gonna die." Huh? And Pop continues, "So, you are so annoying." And Koichi continues, "Huh? Those lame excuses, that humility, all that stuff, it's pointless. Cut it out, eh?" And Pop just turns away. And Pop says, "I was going to thank you, but nah, you're just annoying." And Knuckle Duster comes in. "Koichi, you know why you fell. Let me tell you. It's it 'cause you flew. After that, it's just a matter of landing. Good job landing in the pile of trash, just like I taught you, but there's still tons of things you gotta learn." And Koichi counteracts that and saying, "Like I keep saying, I'm not going to be your apprentice." And Knuckle Duster just keeps on, just denies it, and he continues, "Except you called me master earlier." And Koichi's saying, I wasn't thinking." "You heard that?" And Mr. Knuckle was harder to say. "That's exactly it. Words and actions that pop out without thinking, they reveal how you really feel. Admit it to yourself. You want to be a hero." And Koichi continues, "Well, that's sorta logic. It's a little heavy-handed, no?" And we get into Koichi's inner monologue, and he says, "Thinking back that day, that was really when I first flew. My first hesitant takeoff. In days to come, I find myself flying higher and higher out of those back alleys, but that's a story for another time. And we see their three heroes fly off. And that's the end of chapter 2. And yeah, it's okay. And with that, you know what? I'm gonna stop it right here. And so far, these first two chapters are pretty okay. There were some good bits I do like in this book, in this spin-off with Knuckle Duster, and some of the fight scenes in this is really good. And I know I'm doing this much shorter with only like doing two chapters when I said I was going to do four. So I think it's just because I want to take my time on this one, and maybe on the next break we can do another two, and then hopefully if it gets much smaller I can do more than two, three chapters at a time. So yeah, I'll see you next week with chapter 249, and I will see you next time. So until then, this is Josh24214, and I know this is a long episode. So until then, have a good day, and I hope you understand this. I and maybe on the next break we'll do the last two chapters. Okay. So until then, have a good day, and I'll see you on the very next chapter. So bye for now.